What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and in this video, we are going to talk about Stellar Lumens, specifically the Meridian event that took place today, where a bunch of huge announcements took place. If you're a Stellar Lumens investor and you're not aware of these things, man, this is going to blow your mind. Some crazy stuff has happened, really big partnerships and collaborations going on across the ecosystem. And I think that while the price hasn't really reacted to it much, I think in the future, in the near future, and of course as time goes on, the price will react in a tremendous way to the upside. This is some really good stuff. If that sounds good to you, hit the like button, subscribe. Let's get into it. I want to show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, there's like a few points I want to touch on here. Okay, so looking at this first and foremost, we're just going to use the X page here on Stellar org. They just announced 8 hours ago that Pantera Capital is partnering with Stellar to invest in entrepreneurs building the next big thing on Stellar Network. That's awesome. That's huge. Pantera is a very, very massive organization. For those of you that don't know, their assets under management, their AUM, is worth about $4.2 billion. They're one of the larger investing firms in the crypto and digital space, right? They invest in a bunch of different companies, and this is definitely the newest one. So that's pretty interesting to see them take a interest in this ecosystem. They definitely like DeFi. I've noticed they have a big thing for DeFi and financial asset protocols. So it makes sense that they would get to Stellar Lumens here. We keep on scrolling up. That's one thing, man. There's some other big things that happened here. Let's see. PayPal USD is now live on Stellar, which is pretty cool, right? I feel like every chain has their own kind of stable coins that they're really trying to build out. Tron, for example, USDT, the most USDT that exists in the entire crypto ecosystem is on Tron, and USDT is the most prominent stable coin out there. But PayPal PYUSD, I mean, that's a pretty big deal. It might not be as utilized in the crypto space, but PayPal is pretty damn utilized across the whole world. So that is an avenue of wealth that is now open on the Stellar ecosystem, which again will only be beneficial, I think, for the price. I'm surprised that today is only up 0.3%. Like, are you kidding me? People are sleeping on this crazy stuff, you guys. Quick little detail on PayPal USD right here. Stablecoin issued by Paxos, fully backed US dollar, blah, 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 right? Just classic stuff, whatever. You can send, buy, hold, spend funds with PayPal and Venmo ecosystems, as well as on other blockchains like Ethereum and Solana, and Stellar Lumens, which is pretty damn cool, right? They don't have that update yet, but PayPal is definitely one of those leading brands as far as like financial services goes. So that's pretty damn spectacular there. We keep on scrolling, man. We're gonna find some more and more things. Let's see here. They made a big deal out of the PYUSD stuff. Thanks for bringing Digital Mavericks to Stellar. I don't know Digital Mavericks, but I'm sure that's cool. I should probably look more into that. I wish I did, but Digital Mavericks, I don't know what that is, but I'm sure it's cool. Let's actually we can look at it real quick. What is Digital Mavericks? Is that it? Yeah, Digital Mavericks. Is it just a book? Individuals who use yeah, well, Digital Mavericks, a guide to Web3 NFTs. Maybe it is just a book. Okay, cool. Maybe it's probably a good book. Check it out. Now available. Freighter Mobile is out of beta and now live on the App Store. Your gateway to the best of Stellar. It's Stellar's own non-custodial wallet, right? So that's pretty cool. Not too crazy, but something that's nice, right? I think every ecosystem needs a non-custodial wallet. That if you're going to be a financial service crypto, DeFi crypto, like you should have something like that. So I think that's awesome. They announced that 5 hours ago. That's a pretty big deal as well. We look at this. Larry Wade, head of compliance for PayPal's crypto. He's the one that announced the PYUSD. We've already gone over that. Red Swan. Now this is pretty interesting, right? Red Swan Digital. They are in charge of about like $100 million worth of real estate, and they are, let's read about them. Let's go to About Us here. Come on now, why won't you let me? Careers, team, shirt, team, learn, FAQs, news. No, I wanted to look at something else, but that's okay. Whatever. They're about emerging markets, specifically in No. I'm thinking of a different one. Hold on. Regulated and compliant advisors, tokenized real estate. Red Swan CRE is a premier marketplace for tokenized commercial real estate. Fully adhering to U.S. securities regulations with over $10 billion in deals hosted, our platform offers a secure, straightforward, and transparent way to invest in real estate. If we're reading this here, $100 million in commercial real estate assets tokenized on Stellar, lower minimums, enhanced transparency with 24/7 liquidity. So that's pretty cool. That's a big number. That is a large amount of dollars in real estate. And real estate, of course, only grows in value as time goes on. And Red Swan here, you can see clearly that they are in charge of more than just $100 million. They got $10 billion in deals hosted. And I mean, maybe they got $100 million underway right now, but they've hosted $10 billion in deals overall. So you can see that there's definitely some value to be had out of that as this thing continues to grow, which is pretty cool, right? These partnerships that are being made, these cooperations that are being made. There's one more. All right, this guy, that's right. On Geary Capital, which I've never heard of them, but I was looking into them. On Geary Capital, what are they? What's their net worth? They're like worth $50 million or something like that. Not the largest amount of money in the space, but $50 million is still a lot. Stellar Lumens bringing in more and more massive partners for these guys are the ones that are particular in investing in emerging markets across South America and Asia specifically. So, South America and Asia, crypto is actually really, really big. I don't know for any of my American friends out there, for the American fan that's watching this, but you guys, we go around, we go to the city, and it's kind of cool. You see a Bitcoin ATM maybe here or there. In South America, there are Bitcoin ATMs all over the place, man. Central America, it's a thing. Not everybody knows about crypto, which is kind of weird, but at the same time, there are places that you can find that accept crypto as payments there. It's not as common here in America. Asia, huge for crypto, absolutely huge. So getting your toes wet, taking a dive into these emerging markets is pretty cool as well, right? On Geary Capital and Stellar are partnering to drive innovation across Latin America and Asia, which is pretty damn cool. So a lot of major partnerships announced, some big stuff that happened on Meridian. There's a lot more than just what I've gone over here, and I'm not the best at talking about fundamentals, but not that these are all necessarily fundamentals, but they add to the fundamental value of Stellar, and I think they're exciting little pieces. So while we've gone over all that stuff, I think that we should continue on and talk about the price. All right, we're going to do some price prediction stuff here right now. I'm going to drink some water because I'm thirsty. Hit that like button if you guys are enjoying the video so far. Pretty crazy stuff, man. Pretty big moves from XLM happening here. If you're aiming to be a financial service in the crypto ecosystem, it sounds like you've made some very key partnerships here, especially Red Swan, man. I think that's pretty damn cool. And PYUSD having that online too, not that you're like an exclusive roadway for PYUSD, but it's nice that you're eligible for that as well. That's good, right? You need to have that kind of eligibility, right, for various stable coins if you're going to be transacting from different people, different ecosystems, whatever, all on your ecosystem, I should say. Anyways, high to low, 786 down to the 0.5 right here, had a very massive move up overall, pulled back to the 0.5, which is actually pretty bullish. Typically, whenever you go to the 786, you pull back to the 0.5. Typically, that's actually very, very bullish behavior. You would normally expect to go down to the 382 or the 236 after ripping all the way through to your 786. So the fact that you did this, or I mean, sometimes you do hold the golden ratio and continue to rally, but the fact that you held the 0.5 is still pretty bullish in itself. A little bit of a double bottom there. I would equate this to kind of like what XRP did, right? Where it had this fake out, slightly lower low. Overall, it kind of looks like you have an Adam and Eve. You've got this V and this U here, right? I didn't draw the V the best, but you can see it, right? The little V there. You got your high heel pattern going, and I would think that you do want to continue riding higher. You're probably not going to stop at the 786, 886 area. Not that you can't stop there like momentarily, but I just mean you're really going to continue to grow, I think, until you see new all-time highs altogether. I very much doubt that you spend too much time stopping at this 50-cent area personally. Once you break above there, you should see the pace pick up. I would expect that we kind of move up at a nice swift pace, but maybe you dilly-dally a little bit right around this area, and then once you break above this area, that's when the pace will really pick up. Going into October, going into the end of October, you should really excel through to new all-time highs. Not that these are your all-time highs. I'm pretty sure you have higher highs going back in time. Let's see here. Going on the weekly time frame. Yeah, you've got higher highs than that, but you should be, I think, somewhere near, if not at, new all-time highs by the end of October. You got very, very close to hitting $1. You hit 91.7 cents, and you have not seen 90 cents since then. I really do believe that by the end of October, you'll be in that area, if not above that area. If we're looking at this for what it is, Stellar Lumens is in a massive consolidation phase, right? Absolutely massive. Higher lows, flat top, kind of, if I could draw a straight line, kind of like a flat top there, right? Higher lows, massive consolidation phase. And this time you rejected here, this time you rejected here, this time you're kind of consolidating. You're doing something different, right? So I would think that the different behavior begets different results. The fact that you've got two bear markets, one bull market, 1.5 bull markets worth of pent up bullish aggression in you right now. I think that when you do break out, you're going to see a more spectacular move than you've seen all cycle, really since probably 2018, 2017 times. You're going to see something that's truly spectacular in reference to that. A lot of people might have looked back at this move that happened last year in November to December as a kind of one-off move. And maybe the fact that it took 2 weeks to see most of this move happen, maybe that in itself is a one-off. But I believe over the next 6 weeks, I believe over the rest of this year, the overall growth that you're going to see is going to make this look small. What you've got coming next, in other words, is going to be absolutely fantastic. I think you've got a lot of growth to go, especially as the rest of this year develops. We go here from the current all-time high to the low of this cycle overall. When you break out, the expectation would be that the first stop's at about 246. This is where I think you'll be by the end of October. If you're not here, then maybe you're just below, just above, but somewhere in that kind of area. And then reaching for the end of the year, you should be somewhere around, I would think, somewhere around $4 or higher by the end of this year, 2025. Okay, and then getting set up to make a move up to 846, maybe even $10. Hell, maybe even $22 to $33 by the end of the cycle. And those are some pretty damn incredible market caps. Let's actually look at this right here. XLM. The market cap level there would be about, let's see, so we're at 12.6 billion now. $12.6 billion times 10 would be 120 billion. Times 55 would be about 600 billion plus 5. X would be, it's like 670 billion, I think. Something like that. 675 billion. I don't know if I'm doing my math right, but something just above 650, something just below $700 billion. It's a lot of money. It's absolutely a lot of money, but I think that you could achieve it by the end of this cycle. I really think that Stellar could be all the way up at 22 to 33 bucks. If you're not there by the end of the cycle, then at least something of an $8.46 price, if not to like a $10 price at about like a 25x. That's the average expectation for the average altcoin. So I really could see you up in this area, $22 to $33 at the highest, minimum $8.46, and by the end of the year, something around $4, certainly above $2.45. And I think it all starts here, man. I think you really look fantastic. You've got a lot of good things going for you. Made a lot of moves over the past day, and as it says here, Meridian day 1 delivered. Thank you to Stellar community for showing up and showing out. If you thought today was good, wait until tomorrow. So I'm assuming we're gonna have a lot more to talk about tomorrow. And that's pretty cool stuff, right? They opened up with some pretty heavy hitters on day 1. There might be some bigger things to talk about tomorrow, so I'll keep you guys posted. Definitely check out stellar.org. Keep up with the Meridian event if you'd like to, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.